So
Thank you.
back again, co-hosting, uh,
Yes.
in me, Hilda, Nova Scotia's Organic to the Land Stories. We are back and with another Saturday morning chit chat, a discussion that I think is needed. I do. I think, I know that it's actually going to correlate with last week's discussion, but I think it's needed. But
Yeah.
So we're going to
Yeah.
talk about how we can ground ourselves or the importance of it right now, especially. But how have you been doing?
Um, I have been going through my own roller coaster, but in general, I'm doing much better today.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's just the whole refinement process, I think, can take a toll sometimes, and that's why this is a timely topic because there's no switch here. The refinement process takes time, and then you need to like go with it and do the things that you need to do.
That's right. Right.
So it's just interesting times, but I'm happy to be here, and people watch the replay or who are live. Happy
Yes.
for your
Well,
presence as well.
and
Welcome.
yeah, um, absolutely. So for those watching the playback and for those joining in, welcome. Um,
How
yeah.
have you been?
How have I been? How have I been? I think like from our previous, I've been like in the void, feeling like in the void because I am definitely going through my own process of refinement and upgrading. And I definitely noticed it in my nervous system. And shall I say this? Have I been probably coping with it as well? Um, I see where I can get caught up, and that is in the scrolling. And even though I'm trying to be selective, some of it comes, then it becomes like doom scrolling. And, you know, I am selective about what it is that I watch. But as I said, there is an importance to draw away because there is so much, which is why I wanted to have this conversation. Because you asked me how my past week was. I did do a lot of scrolling because I was following a few topics. And what I come to realize is that you're dealing with people who, and because it's for those of you that follow me, I love going on TikTok. I find that, you know what? I said, if you really want to find out what's going on, go to
Mhm.
TikTok. You will find your people who are boots on the ground. So in the process, you're finding people who are waking up. Hello, hello, hello,
Oh
Grandma
no, welcome.
Gertrude, and hello, Mina. Stop yapping. Stop yapping. Well, why would I want to stop yapping? This is exactly what our Saturday mornings are about. Now, why would you come up into the chat asking me to stop yapping?
You can leave. Feel free
Yeah,
to leave.
yeah,
But yeah, welcome everyone. I hope you're well. We hope you're well.
yes.
Um, but yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's been interesting times, and just give yourself grace. I think it's also about
Well, you
yeah.
know what? It's we are in that time period of where you have to protect your energy, and we were talking earlier in we were talking earlier, and anyways, let me tell you something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Early in, you ain't even up in here 2 minutes. So is this going to be my testing day? Now I said,
Don't like
no,
it is
no,
your testing.
I'm not, because you know what we're going to do here. If I see it, if you see it, just remove it. Just remove it because you know what? I tell you something. Nor do I need the test today. Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you. I don't need the test today. Just remove them, because I ain't even got time. Like seriously. You got to be looking for something. Anyways, my whole point being is, yeah, you got to watch your energy just like that. Watch your energy. So, yeah, that's what we're
Yeah.
doing today. You see the foulness because if I get into the conversation, I will not see it. So just remove them because I ain't got time to take another route. But yeah, in the protecting of my energy is also meaning that I watch what it is that I'm taking in, and I realize that in the sense of entertainment, I was taking in some stuff I didn't need to take in. You know, it
Mm.
it was mindless, and had to let it go. Hey, oh, hello, editor, creator, Turbo. Nice to see
How's
you.
everyone doing?
hmm
Wait, yeah.
So yeah, how has everyone been doing? How are you? How is things going in everyone that's currently in the chat? How is things going in your world today? Because the world, as I said, is ever changing now, isn't it? What are you
Um,
doing? What are we doing? We're having a conversation. That is exactly what we're doing. We're having a conversation this morning, and we're just basically checking in. There's a lot going on the planet. There's a lot being revealed today. Going back to before I was interrupted, my feeling the need to have this conversation because there is a lot going on. A lot is being revealed to us. So we're learning some really horrific truths, and it is being um, thrown at us on all different levels. But then you know what you take everyone that's reporting on it and all that. Um, what place are they coming from? So you're getting all different types of slants of energy is what I call. And so there's a need and an importance not to deny what's happening, but my God, you know what? You do have to pull away because
mm,
I don't need to hear or see the same thing 50,000 times. It becomes overkill after that. And I think it does leak into your energy after a bit. And it does become harder to, you know, stabilize your own energy and center and all of that. So I'm in my mindfulness currently. So doing something different. And I say that because when I was getting drawn in, I was getting drawn into everything from the what's happening with the British royals because that's unveiling so many truths, and then what there's the whole Epstein, and all of it's interconnected. It's all interconnected. However, I want to stay focused and grounded right here because as much as all of these things are happening and all these things are breaking down, and who's who and what bloodline, because that's another thing that's on the table right now. Um, so all these things that can draw you away from yourself. Um, Not that
mhm.
they're of a level of importance, but I think the real key today is, as I said, protecting your energy because I think there's a reason why it's being all thrown at us, and that is to get your energy in a place of where it's chaotic, like everything else that's going on out there, and they can siphon that energy because there is a whole element of people or beings, or that's what you want to call them, that thrive off of our minds being in a chaotic state or our nervous systems being not balanced. They want that negative energy. So I'm not going to give it to them. And it's going to, one's just going to have to be very mindful on how that is happening.
I think what I'm realizing is that at the end of the day, what really matters is um, what's happening right here, right now,
hmm
and to see the blessings in our lives. the everyday blessings. And I know it's cliche and it sounds cliche, but that's really the truth. Like, the experience of life in itself is a gift. And no matter how much chaotic it gets, that is the truth, that we are um, having this human experience. The problem is that we are programmed or habituated to live in fear. And that's why we seek those kind of realities. And then the physical keeps mirroring the same emotion in everything we see. But really, at the end of the day, I think we need to ask ourselves, what are we investing in? Right?
Right.
It's
What
not about what they are doing. Yeah, because what they are doing.
right,
Well, you're not slaves. We're not slaves.
right.
So it is our utter responsibility to check, where are we investing our energy and our focus, to go
Right.
back to that. Because
Right.
there can be million and one things and it does not matter.
And
It
the thing
just does
about it,
not matter. Yeah,
it you what is my reality? What am I building? So if I see something that's broken out there, how am I trying to rebuild that in my own life? And what does that look like? Do you know what I'm saying?
right,
Instead of looking out there also for the fixing, because we know what's happened from looking out there for your answers or looking out there for your fixer for the problem, whether that be via government or whatever. If you have not seen that the real solution lies with you, then and stop giving your power away, looking for the solution out there. 'Cause it's not going to come from out there. They are the creators of your problem
right. And
or problems that you might be experiencing.
yeah, I think it requires a extremely high level of autonomy, sovereignty, courage to walk on your own path. And that's what we are being asked to do.
That's it. That's it.
We are trying to, or we are programmed to walk on the path that others have, whatever, governments, blah, 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 have built for us. And I'm not at all saying that be a rebel, etc. That's for you to reflect on. That's for each one of us and our own experiences to reflect on what
And
exactly needs to
what is a
change.
rebel? Because a rebel today would be someone that is going against the
Exactly, because
current.
I'm trying to stay away from words because we automatically link it to the Hollywood Bollywood perception of what a rebel is. And
Right,
I am just saying, really check what needs to change. And I don't want to use any word here because that's just subconscious. Our subconscious are is so programmed, that I don't even know we understand the real meaning of words when we speak them.
right,
Um, they're so diluted and made something else. But that's what I'm realizing, that and like, there are a lot of reasons here, and I know it sounds really simple. But it is also very simple, but it's just that, that whole journey of Buddha becoming a Buddha is like he had to fight um, the
mhm,
demons and all of that. And I think that's what we're talking about here. And they're inside us. They are internalized realities, internalized perspectives,
yeah.
right? Like sorry, sorry, you were saying something.
No, I was just saying you were saying you have to find the demon inside you. The demon lies inside you. You know what I'm saying? That's the demon, the very thing that you're fearful of,
Right.
right?
And it's like it's and now people will be like, but the demon is outside, we are innocent. But the thing is that if you are feeding your energy your potential, your life potential, you're giving it all away to these organizations, you're selling it to the demon. That's what you're doing,
Yes.
because you're not owning it. I know,
Yes.
I know, like Christianized mentality might be triggered, and I'm not sorry for that, because that's a fact. We are all unconsciously, we have sold our soul. I have no shame in saying that, and it's a
Yeah.
hard pill to swallow, but that's what it is. When you don't own your energy, when you don't own your life path, your life potential, you're not in alignment. That's what you're doing. Just running a program that's been given to you. And who made the program? Who made the
Mm,
program?
mm. That's
Right?
hence, you know what, which is, um, it's all a program. We are living in a program. So when you start talking about autonomy and your own autonomy, it means you have to remove yourself from the program. Programming,
Yes.
whatever that is, in whatever way that looks like, whether it's I think that's something that comes happens in stages too, because first you start,
Absolutely.
um and then you know what, when you question and you're not getting the answers that you were looking for, you do start to seek outward, because
Absolutely.
you know
That's where we start, because that's what we are
it
programmed to do.
is, you know so holding space for those that what
And
are still
yes,
caught
and
in the program, but wake up,
yes,
wake
it's
up.
a process. Yeah, it's a process. 101%, it's a process. Not
Hmm.
at all saying like it's a one day thing. Nope, because it wasn't built in a day,
No, it
right?
was
You
it
were
was
programmed slowly and steadily right from when you were young. So
it was a very
um
manufactured program, because it was programmed to, first of all, not get you to question. So that's the reason why, um, and it's embedded. It's an embedded programming that you know it reflects itself in different aspects of our society. So in order to withdraw from it, you have to start challenging a whole lot of other things that are around you. That may
right.
be connected to that programming.
And I think the most radical thing I'm realizing these days is you've always been free. You've always been free, and you are free. You just
Hmm.
don't realize that
Hmm.
fully,
However,
and
you know what? Yes,
that
that's the thing. However, you know what? Let's not mistake the fact
I
that
know.
there was a huge hostage taking of our
Right.
mind, as well as our physical. So
Right.
yeah,
But that whole
in terms of control.
fragmentation, right?
Yeah.
The But like that's been my reality, to understand that yes, that psyche fragmentation started very early on,
Hmm.
and that's why we need to revisit all of those, because they take up a lot of room in our
Hmm.
psyche.
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
but it also means that, and I shared that on my channel the other day, like we have to learn to be our own parent, and that's what we're talking about here. If you don't feel fully seen, you have to give it to yourself, so that you don't act out in ways that are harmful for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's like learning to give to yourself exactly what you need.
Because you know what, the very thing that you don't give yourself, or you're denying yourself, you're going to resent it in someone else.
Right.
When you
And
think
then,
being out
yeah,
there, being able to do what you are not, then you're going to feel resentment.
yes.
Yeah.
And I also feel that all of this chaos that we are feeling right now is also because we have projected our own, that's what I feel, our own unmet needs. We're trying to fulfill them from these structures.
Yes.
Um, So I get it, but I think it's and we are realizing now that it's extremely painful to be relying on these so-called structures. I think structures are important. I think values are important. Um, and I don't want to give a wrong message here saying that we don't need a structure. I think we do need a structure. And I think that's why when there is no structure, people get a free license to just do anything because you don't have values. And I don't think we're talking about that.
And not only that, but
Right.
I think of when I talk about the current structures, and they are uh, poisoned structures. They were not built on uh, honest foundations. So
Yes.
because those structures were not built on an
Yes.
honest foundation, what you are seeing is the end result of something that is not built on an honest foundation. So you're
Right.
seeing the crumbling of one structure. So it's not about no structure, not having structure. I
Right.
think always had structure. It's just that the
Right.
structure in which, the so-called powers to be put into place, it was, built on that of lies, and it was built
Absolutely.
on in order to keep it in place. So when drawing from it, it's not saying that we don't want structure. It's the structure that we are looking for is coming
Yeah.
from a
Because
place.
I think so many people in the West have misinterpret that, saying that, oh, but that's you're not free. Well, no. Without values gives you license to go real dark real fast because you
Right.
don't have a baseline and you don't know what's what's inherently humanly right or wrong, right?
You get what
um
got going on out there right now, is what I'm saying. You see the chaos? You see
right.
all the representations of, when you don't have boundaries, when you don't have a
Right.
value system, all of that is what we're seeing reflected too
Exactly.
in
And like people have no concept of, like, I seriously feel like I don't even know what to say here. It's like what we are realizing right now is like if you have money, you can really do whatever the heck you want. That's
Mhm.
what we are saying, but that's not the truth. Because if you really see nature and there's a balance, there is a certain rhythm and there's a certain rules. You just don't have morning all the time. Like the sun sets and then
Well,
like there's a certain rhythm.
the
Yeah.
law of the universe is this: what goes around must come back around. So it depends on what you sent out, is what you're going to get,
Yeah.
you know? So there's some things
And
we're seeing in the routine here.
right. And I also want to add that we're not that isolated like we think. We're
No.
not, because I think we are finally realizing, and that's what I was feeling, that whole feeling of um because we all feel alone at times. That's a very human experience, right?
Hmm.
But I think at the end of the day, we are never really alone because we all share the same earth. We're not. It's just a very 3D experience of um, feeling like you're by yourself, right? And a lot of people are feeling like that. Just wanted to um,
And what's really
empathize with it.
happening is there's a split in the consciousness, is what's happening. People
Mhm.
are different level of consciousness. And so that's what makes, once again, there's a void that goes with that, because you know what, this level here is not resonating with the level right here, or this level right here is not able to resonate with the level right here, you know, which creates a void, you know, which.
And also our belief systems, right? We are, I don't know, like what you think, but like we are taught to, if a person is not is thinking different from you, we
Mhm.
are taught to just leave them, you know Like
Mm,
that whole mentality of just, if a person did harm, like just eliminate them. I'm just saying it so the YouTube doesn't, tag this video. But it's like that whole concept of elimination, I think, is really making us all feel very alone. We don't know how to handle our differences.
no, and you
We need
must.
to learn how
We,
to.
we do, and that means that that's why that self work is so important. Working on yourself, because when you're faced with a mirror, when you're bothered by a whole lot of different things that are going on out there, it's because it's
Right.
reflecting something that's going on inside you that is left unresolved. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about that
Yeah.
thing that you're casting judgment on, that person that you're casting judgment on. There's something that, and when I say casting judgment, you're judging them pretty harshly. You know, it's pretty, which doesn't bring togetherness. Do you understand? The-
And that's another thing. I was realizing that judgment comes from fear.
Mhm.
We are basically trying to gauge our if we are safe or not. That's why we judge people and whatever we see, and we don't. I think life still goes on even if we don't have an opinion. We don't always need to have an opinion on each and everything. That's another thing I'm realizing. It's not easy for me, but that's it is the truth. You don't need to judge everything. You don't need,
Listen, I've learned some of my best
right?
lessons in this life from assholes, or what some people would call asshole like behavior, or character. I learned some of my
Yeah.
lessons from them. So even that, if you can abstract the value, it's worth it.
Mhm.
Meaning, so you know what? If there's something
Mm.
learned from everything that's going
From
on,
everything,
from everything.
101%.
It's and know this, all of it, all of it is interconnected. It's all interconnected.
I think, yeah, that is true. Like, the moment you start feeling like you're under attack is the moment you stop feeling like a victim,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Um, and I don't think the point of life is about being shamed or all of these um, inferior emotions. Is to actually help you evolve.
mm,
And so realizing that life is, I know, as cliche as it sounds, it is really happening for you and not
mm,
against you.
mhm,
Even if it is difficult at times to learn the lesson. And I think the amount of darkness that people are seeing right now, people are astonished at the amount of darkness, because there was this amount of darkness the whole time when we were subscribed to these systems. We just never knew we were subscribed to them. And that's why it's alarming for everyone. You see what I mean?
I just want to make I want to make a point.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to make the point that, you know what, when I think of what we see being played out in social media or the media, in terms of all those things that I just talked about, whether it's the Royals or whether it's the Jeffrey Epsteins, and like I said, they are interconnected. My whole point being is this, that all of that couldn't have taken place without the collective's input. The collective was a part of that in some way.
Yes.
You understand, whether it was idolizing when you should have been really looking inward. So now here's another thing that I'm going to say. So what's being reflected upon the screen, instead of worrying about what's going on in the royal family, what's going on inside your family? What's going on
I
inside your
know.
community? So you know what you see, you take, okay, from your, what's going on with your police department? What's going on with your hospitals? What's going on with your, what are the patterns there? Because, it can't happen on a big scale unless, it is supported from all these other small entities. So when you're so concerned about what's going on with them, you better make it a point of evaluating it from your community.
That's true. I think that,
About the children and all of that. Where are the children coming from? They're coming from your community or an
mm,
entity in your community. They just don't pluck them out of thin air. And how is that? I'm just saying. So, and I think
yeah.
that when one centers up and they don't get so caught up and involved, you pay attention a little bit more to your own community because that's also equally important.
And I think that's what is happening.
Hmm.
Absolutely are on point that, we make this, it's almost like we were living in our own la la lands, very selfish type
Hmm.
of reality where the only concern is me and my family and our um and that's it.
Hmm.
And we were sitting in our la la lands, me included, and like a feeling, a sense of connection with these celebrities, because that's another, it's like, why is this happening everywhere? Why does, it's like a common pattern everywhere. We have these TVs inside our homes, and that's our way of that's our only sense of connection with the world, because we
Hmm.
don't have time and energy to put it in our community because we're tired. Because again, we go back to the structure that is built, that everyone is following. We don't have time for our kids, we don't have time for our community. And
And just
schools are, schools are parenting the kids, and structures are taking care of the community. And look at us now.
that's it. That's it. And it's hmm, s- you can't complain about it unless you're ready to really truly do something about it. You can't say that you know what you want the changes if you're not going to be a part of the change, you know? And that might mean, however drastic, making the drastic move, because I believe that we are in a falling system. Some shit has to crack.
Yes, has to
Because
crack,
it's that,
crumble.
it is that wicked. I won't even say troubled. It is that wicked. It needs to. So that means getting ready to
Yep,
maybe put something into that change instead of you thinking the change is going to happen to you, whatever way that looks. Don't complain about the school system. I don't want you to complain about the school system no more. You know what? Remove your children from the school system. Find and create another way, because you realize the entities that are controlling the schools. And I'm using the school system as a perfect example. Um, there are other ways. There are other ways. Yes, there are other ways. Is
there
all I'm
have
saying.
always been other ways before
Absolutely.
colonialism happened. The people were still smart and educated. You don't need to go to a school
Mm-hmm.
to be smart and to
Mm-hmm.
be to be knowledgeable
Mm-hmm.
or to learn, right? That's what schools are should be about. I have been part of most of these structures, and I don't see any value of them other than obedience, other than feeling like you're in a rat race and that never ends, and there are certain time, like not timelines, but like benchmarks. Like, what is this about? I never understood it. Never did.
My whole school experience, I can guarantee you, for me, I saw it was about programming. It was
Yeah.
programming,
And
programming.
I have always loved learning, but I was not considered, um I was considered really slow in school.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I was like treated badly and but that's the thing. Like it's really now
Because you were
I'm being
considered slow. That's the thing. You were considered slow because you know what? You couldn't keep up to whatever program was in front of you because you know what?
never.
You weren't going with the way that you learned, the way that you
Yeah,
think. You weren't programmed to look at your things from your own autonomy, you know?
right. I
But I'm
can
talking
never just it's interesting what you said. Like, yeah, like they would tell you something and all I need to do is eat it up and throw up in the exam. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? You
what
see
would
what I mean?
they say? What would
Like
they
to they I will not say teach. I don't think that's teaching. Not I don't think
mm,
everyone can teach. Not
mm,
everyone is a teacher.
mm, mm, mm,
So I don't think I have met good teachers
mm,
because
mm.
I don't think I was a bad student. I just,
Hello,
you know,
Sabrina.
welcome Sabrina. But you see, like that whole lesson you're trying to give to this kid is that we fail at explaining you in the way you can understand. So we're going to deem you stupid
And there's a problem. You have a problem. Now
and
you
you have
have,
a problem. And we're going to give you bad grades so
yeah.
that you believe that you see what I mean? Like it's just made up. All of this is stupid.
The whole grading system. Let's just say that the whole grading
It's
system.
not.
Oh, my.
No, I don't
And
believe in it. And I don't even think people, uh, just because you have high grades, you're smart. I don't believe that. I think I have met the most stupid people who had the most highest grades. I don't think smartness or intelligence has anything to do with high grades.
and lack common sense. We've often heard that. If you don't
Exactly.
have common sense, then you know what? It would make it very difficult to function in the real world on a level.
Exactly. So like what's the point? Like I never understood like and I'm giving like we're giving real examples of these structures like it just doesn't make any sense and it's still going strong.
Hmm.
They're still running and I still see little kids who are supposed to be having or enjoying their childhood. They're crushed under the education system. Why?
Hmm. Hmm.
Why? Why are you failing them? This time is never going to come back. And you're building a certain brain patterns that they will take their whole life to get out of, even if, and that is also what if they realized something is wrong. You see what I mean?
Well, once again, I'm going to say this that um,
I don't.
the powers to be, I will say this, the powers to be are great at creating the problem. And then
Exactly.
and they give you the solution. I created the problem, but I'm going to make you think that it's your problem, that you created the problem. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to bring the solution. That's no different with our school system and the so called programs that they have out there for ADD. It's all about funding. It's about funding. It's about numbers. It's about,
Yes.
um,
Oh my god.
I'm going to go brief
Yes.
than that because you know what? Just because of the time period we're living in. And if you know, you know. I'm just going to say this. You know, when
It
we look
is true.
going on with the world and we want to look at what's going on with kids, you know what I mean? You got to have a breeding ground. Where's your breeding ground coming from? I'm just saying. Let's just take it there, okay? We create a problem,
Yeah.
and you know what? There's also a link with CPS, Child Protective
Yeah.
Services. There's a
Yeah.
link between them and a
Yeah.
lot of what's going on. So I'm saying that if you really say that, you know what?
Yeah.
when you say I want to protect my child from this, these are some of the things I think that you know what you might want to start looking at. As I said,
I mean,
all
there's just,
are
yeah,
interconnected,
it is.
and if you are awake enough, you will see. And it is getting worse. It is getting worse. So yeah, I do believe, it
It
is
is.
it's no time to play. However, if you are dedicated to the programming, then by all means.
Yeah. And I also feel like, when we say it doesn't concern me, that means you are the privileged one, right? You
It
have earned some kind of privilege. And
doesn't
that's why, yeah, because I've heard that so many times. And I was also reading that it's never the harassers that go for therapy, it's always the one who's harassed. And that
mm,
says everything,
mm-hmm,
you see?
mm-hmm, absolutely.
And that has happened. I'm not talking about therapy in general. I'm just saying, like, every time I have challenged the system, I have been deemed like I am the problem. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
So it takes a lot of courage, I think, and inner strength to be able to pave your own path. It's very easy to go on the beaten path because everyone is doing that. But I think that creating your own path also means that you get an extremely good night's sleep
you,
because you're fulfilled
you're
and you're not abandoning yourself and your soul.
you
Um,
you can
right.
go ahead and say, you know what, I'm good. That's right. I didn't
Right.
sell my soul today. I
I
didn't
don't know
abandon.
some is soul today.
Yes.
And it's not a one day thing again. I am still I still struggle, and Hilda also. We talk about it every
Me too.
week. We all struggle, but it's about um, trying to do better, um, and make a better choice and make this. I think, like, the more we can um, honor our life, I think that's the best thing we can do for each other.
Mm,
Um, yeah, it doesn't happen through blaming, cursing, um, projecting. Um, and like I said, I'm not immune and I'm not perfect. I have my own setbacks, but it's about just getting up and doing better. And I also want to add, our brains are wired to learn through storytelling.
mm,
We don't learn through this is what it is, and that is what it is, and that is what it is. If you guys, I don't know, please feel free to comment or like, our subconscious doesn't talk in words,
no.
and that's a big part of our brain, right? It's like 99% and only 1% is conscious mind, and it talks in images, and it
Mm,
talks in myths, and it talks in all of that. To engage with that part of your brain, um, I think is extremely important.
mm, mhm. It is. It is to be able to. Yeah. Well, that's also doing your own processing. To be able to process it out properly. Um, if you want the result. You know.
Yeah, because like, if you really see your life, it doesn't work according to, so now is this and now is that and no, it has its own flow, and it ebbs and flows, and there is a certain rhythm, there's a certain quality of mythology in all of our lives. The heroine's journey, the hero's journey, you can see that in your own life if you
Mm.
take the time to understand,
Think of it when you were
right?
talking, thinking, you know what, and also being able to. A part of that process is being able to get ready for the unseen or the unknown. what you know, get ready because it's
Yes.
always there's always going to be that something, you know.
Yeah. And I wanted
Spoken
to add that,
control it all, you know, because sometimes we can.
yeah, because I wanted to add that because I think that the free will also works through our habits and the way we operate through life.
Mhm.
And sometimes um, building better habits or taking out the time to engage in creativity and really connecting with your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, is very stabilizing,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because this path is not fun. All it's uncomfortable and it's not fun. Um, so I think I've observed that um, arts, mythology really keeps my juices flowing and um, is very supportive on this
Yeah,
journey. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, and you know, just to reiterate with what you just said about it not being, it's not easy at times, and that's hence why once again we're having this conversation because you know, listen, you need to you're fighting, not getting caught up in the sauce. You're fighting to keep your um, energy in a good place. It's a bit more of a fight in needing these reminders. I need this. Just listen. A week can go by, and by the time me and you get together and we have a conversation, it's like yes, that's exact. I needed the reminder because a lot has taken place
yeah,
since you know. Um, I think we need to be mindful of that if you want to stay on course, right?
right. And also community. Um, Healthy, interdependent relationships are extremely helpful on this path.
Yes.
Um, but if you have a history of codependent behaviors, yeah,
Yeah.
um, which I do. So, um, learning to develop interdependent relationships is very supportive on this path. Um, and also reach out to people who actually like Hilda reached out to me. I was like this whole getting out of my shell period at that time, and um
You know,
I
that's only been
think
6 months, Revney. I look
was
at
that
what, listen, it was probably 6 months ago. Yeah. Because I looked at one of
6 months ago.
our very first, the
Yeah.
very first time we did a live on this channel.
Wow.
6 months. And
Happy 6 months
it's
anniversary.
because I've known you for way longer than that, but that's that old soul effect, I think. Because I definitely believe that you are an old soul in some aspects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never I think the people that I come in connection with, including yourself, I've never felt like I had to, it's just like we knew each other all along. And I think that sense of ease is a big sign of um, aligned connections, right? Your soul connections.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I feel like I need to do that more too. And it's about reaching out to people that you feel are on your path and um, taking that step. I think goes a long way.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so really, I feel like this human experience belongs to all of us, and when we share that with others, it makes us feel more a sense of belonging, right? Mm, I think it really helps rather than being like, I am by myself and this is a hard thing and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I've done that. That pit hole goes nowhere.
Oh, it does. Because you know what? I'll tell you something. Listen, we are meant to build relationships. Um, not. None of us are an island. You know what I mean?
Right. And I also want to preface that people who have your relationship trauma understand, but I think that that trauma is also healed in relationships. So it's just, yeah.
You know what? It's being open, and I think that you know what it brings me to the point because I can't say that I'm out there shucking and jiving with a lot of people because I'm not. I'm not. However, I
And
do know
yeah.
important. I know the importance of it, and it doesn't mean that I
Mhm.
don't have my opportunities. I shouldn't say that I'm not. I'm not out there like that. Is what I'm going to say. So, can
And you
tell you
don't have to. I think it's like there are phases, right, of life, and there's
that's
certain phases like where I am in right now where it also requires me to spend time alone. So it's okay. So
yeah.
it's not about, you know, partying every day and finding that's not what we're talking about. I think you attract people in your life and just makes sense when it's supposed to be
Being open.
being open. But if you go out seeking, that has never worked for me.
No, it does not. Hmm.
No.
No.
I also I don't I just wanted to do it in the end, but I wanted to pull a card for all of us because I think all of us just require more support in general, more um mothering energy. What do you think?
I think you know what. I think it's a very good idea. Yes, pull the card. What deck are you pulling from?
So it's like angelic vibrations oracle.
Let's.
So yeah. So let's see. Um let's pull a card for all of us. Oh, okay. Ooh, I got a bless. Hold on, let me see. I got. How do I might have to. I might have to turn this off.
Oh,
See.
yes. In order to see the card.
Oh, yeah. How do I do that? Mm, okay. So here.
There we go. Oh yes.
I think they're very scenic, and it's like I can just keep glaring at this art for hours.
Colors and is that is
Yeah.
that is that angel wings or is she sitting on a reef or
I
something?
I think she's sitting on a reef or something, but
Because
um
the sea, isn't it? That's depicting the Atlantis.
so yeah, let me read from the book. Let's see what it says. It says blessing is a sacred act. It takes a selfless heart to ask for one.
What was
Do
that
you
again?
urge it says the a blessing is a sacred act. It takes a selfless heart to ask for one.
Mm, asking
It's
for us.
yeah, it's like I am being open and I am rather than worrying or rather than ruminating, I'm giving that energy on to you for support. I'm open for support, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, it says that do you urgently need a blessing for a pending task in your life? Examine carefully why you feel you need this. Every moment, the angels sense who deserves a blessing. Like I said, like we're all very supported. We're never by ourselves, ever,
No, the
right?
universe. always co-conspiring to give us what it is that we
Right. Yeah. And it says, like a ray of light from the spiritual world, they can illuminate your path with their blessing. Consider carefully whether this is the right time and occasion to ask for such a blessing. However, if you genuinely require help for someone in need, perhaps, do not be afraid to pray to the angels.
mm,
When I saw this car, it felt like it's almost like they're sitting for us to ask for help and their support. And it's
yeah.
like we're never really we don't have to do it by ourselves, you know.
You know what you mean? What do you mean, Jen?
Hi, Jen.
Hello, Jen. It's Jim Tashan.
Oh, Gem. Okay, hi, Gem. So yeah, I think it's very it is beautiful, and it also again is reminding us of the feminine energy, of that receptive energy, of staying open,
Hmm.
and rather than always doing, learn
Hmm.
to be learn to be and again, like learn to be present and learn to ask for help when you have done all you can at a human level,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? I
And
like
know
that.
that it's being worked on. It's
Yeah.
just know it's being worked on. The solution for whatever it is.
Yeah, I also oh my god, I'm glad that you brought that up. I feel like I'm also learning the need to slow down. Like, but not like slow down, but like there's no hurry and there's no like, oh my God, like what's happening? Oh my God. Like that whole like impatient energy is not necessary in life.
Hmm. It
Like,
isn't.
you can just roll. You don't have to always know everything, right?
That's right.
You just
Yeah,
have to trust.
that's coming out of programming.
Programming, yes.
We are programmed from a very, very early age. And so when you talk about trusting the process, and I don't mean like, that you're an active component to the point of where, okay, I've done all I can. So now I'm
Right.
asked, that I put a lot of seeds out there into the universe. So now I just got to trust that the universe is going to, come
Yeah.
through. And that
Yeah.
whatever is will be exactly what it is that I need. Or you get exactly what you asked for, depending on what it is that how you've said it, and all of the above. You can keep preaching things into your life.
I feel like the pace at which we have created life where it's everything has to be like quick and like instant and quick food and all of that fast. What happens is we tend to forget the magic of everyday life, which is that your words are powerful and your thoughts are powerful and are creating your immediate reality. Your words, your thoughts, your actions are creating your reality. We
Mm,
forget that. We forget that. When we are going too fast, we forget that.
that's right. That's right. That's right. And being yeah, and you have to be cognizant of that all the time. Like all the time. That's the power of a thought. That's the power of a word. That you know what we are. So whatever you're seeing a lot of in your life right now, it's because you know what it's I do think it does have to do a lot with your
It
thoughts
is.
and what
It is.
you're
And
feeding into.
right. And we were talking about this earlier, and I want to wrap it up real quick. We
Yeah.
close, but it's like we don't realize. For example, when you're talking, if you're watching this, you're sucked in into this world that we have created.
Yes.
Whether you're aware of it or not, you are syncing with our frequency. Whether you're aware of it or not, you'll react differently as you see people in the chat. But that's what you're doing. You're tapping into this particular frequency.
Now, can
And
you imagine
that's,
if you
yeah,
were scrolling, 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 scrolling? How many things are you tapping into?
right.
You know?
And that's the thing. I think we unconsciously are tapping into million different frequencies and unconsciously projecting all of that outside. And so universe is like, should I do this? Or should I do that? Or should I do this? Or should I do that? And you yourself don't know what you want. And here you go.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
porridge created. Right.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's not how we are built. That's not how it works. I feel like
No, yeah.
we don't need this much information, really.
Oh, we don't.
So
And only that, but you know what? The more you do the avoidance of not centering and all of that, then it tends to lead to other things. You know, that's where I think that you know what, uh, anxiety, all of that stuff starts to creep in when you are not centering up
right.
and you're doing too much scrolling up.
And I know like why we do that too. I understand because um but it also doesn't help. Like doom scrolling really distracts you. So you think you're feeling better, but you're not.
Mhm.
But you're just feeling a certain way. And rather than holding yourself and just sitting with it, and it will pass because we are so charged, we keep scrolling. Right. And
And I
let that charge.
do this that because we talked about energy upgrade and our whole nervous system being upgraded. And if you really are here
Yeah.
on a mission and you haven't fallen into your mission or you're on the path to your mission and you are in that in between and you ain't really doing anything, then you know what? That energy, if it is not used in a productive way,
Oh my God, yes.
have a adverse effect because energy, it's not energy does it never it's gonna move somewhere. And it usually ends
Yeah.
up um showing itself just like I said, anxiety.
100%.
Um
100%.
you're not clear. So even when you're doing a lot of that doom, doom, doom,
Mm.
you know, uh that's
Yes.
of the universe's way of letting you know, you know what, something's wrong. You know what, that you're not
Yes.
you're supposed to be doing something with that energy. Like you just talked about it. You said, you know what, I was feeling a certain kind of way earlier before we went live. You said I went for my walk. I feel so much better. And it was because you did something with the energy. You were
Right.
in dis- distorted energy place, but you did something with you went out there and you got it moving, which you know what opened up your chakras. So you know it made you be able to come back with a clear head. You know things moving, which I'm looking forward to going up for my walk because we got the sun here, folks. We do.
Good for you.
Hmm.
I think again, like it's really about, I don't know what you want to call it. It's really becoming your parent in a way. It's like understanding um what you need. Um it's like, okay, uh I need to feed myself like blah blah blah, like this kind of healthy food so that, you know, my high vibration food, right? More greens and like more fruits and that kind of stuff. And then making sure I am actually connecting to the earth. You know, it's really about that to understand.
Come after the temple. You start
It is
evaluating
like,
going into the temple. You start evaluating what goes in the temple and how it makes you feel. And you know, you said
yeah,
something. Is it alive? Is it alive? Or are you eating dead shit? You didn't say shit. You said
yes,
food, actually.
right.
But you know, all of those things make a difference.
I think we have to go back to basics. I mean, you don't need to, it's your choice what you do with your life. But I think I am realizing that I need to go back to basics. Like all of this saving time is not doing us any good.
No, no.
And I think if we are saving time, then we have to use it for something
Hmm.
um, better or something worthwhile rather than just expending it online or
When
you
you say
know.
we have to go back to the basics, what does that look like? What would that look like when you say we have to go back to the basics?
There's a lot there. There's I know I said this line, but I think it is and it's going to require a lot from myself and my life. What am I watching? What am I it's like all of like tuning all of your senses. The food I'm eating,
Yes.
where's that coming from? What I'm
Mhm.
watching, where's that coming from? What am I watching? What am I listening? What am I wearing? Like, what kind of fabric am I wearing? Is it breathable? Am I wearing plastic? That kind of stuff. And
Oh,
um,
yeah.
everything. It's like
So living a
we're right.
conscious, conscious
And
life,
it's
which
not, yeah, it's like w- we are choosing all of this anyways. Don't forget that you're choosing it. You're just choosing to do it consciously. You're choosing it anyways. When
right?
you're doing something, you're choosing it anyways. You're just doing it unconsciously, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But this is about taking the time to listen to your body because your body will tell you what what you feel like, and like getting in touch with your feminine energy if you're in a woman's body, and like what exactly makes you sing, because that's what being a woman is like. She's earth in a woman's body. How are you manifested in this body, right? There's
Right.
a lot to do here, and I'm actually excited for it. And that's why when people tell me, I'm like, I'm never bored. I'm never bored. There's just so much I learn about myself. I'm continuously learning. I don't have time for no one. I don't care. Not that I don't care, but like,
When you were saying that,
you
um,
know,
for me, this there might be a lot of chaotic stuff going on, but when
right.
you know from a deeper, we are living in very exciting times
It
too.
is. I
We're in something, and listen, it's got to break down. So it's what's going to come after that that I'm looking forward to, and I want to be a part of that, and I hope that I am a part of that, and that's the thing that I am. It's gotta break down. So you know what? There is a uh, opposite side to that, though, folks, and
yes.
you know what?
And I was and we should wrap it up. It's like almost 10 minutes up. But I think we all are, and again, it's a choice because that was the message I received. It was like, not everyone is going to choose this. That's a
No,
fact.
no.
But yeah, I think that we are going through an initiation and it's going to ask you to, I don't know, it's like it really requires sacrifice of everything you have known so far,
Plunged.
because it's like you're alchemizing that energy, right? So it's not going, the old is not going to work at all. um
See this happening all over. You can see that, you know what, the very thing
right,
that you talked about, it is on an individual level. And you see
right.
where, you know what, we can see where that shift of change in the thought process or the upgrade is happening. I see evidence where, you know what, you have relationships. One is choosing not to change their thinking. The other one's thinking has been elevated. Has that created? Sometimes it creates divorce because you know what, the
Yes.
people has grown apart. But that's the
Yes.
time period that we're living in, right? So that
Yeah.
energy that we're talking about is all over, but it's paying attention to your energy. And
Yeah. I
we're
think like it's really being the gardener of your garden, right? It's
are you
and I
yeah,
think we have talked about it before, that whole wounded healer energy. I think we are treading away from that whole archetype because
mm,
that is coming from a wounded energy. And no, we are wounded, but like we are choosing to um, route that energy to ourselves. And I think this is a very exciting place to be, even if it's difficult. I I think this is the best time of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Even if it's difficult at times. No, I wouldn't.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just
We are builders. We're building the inside. We're rebuilding the inside.
absolutely. Oh my God. This is the card that I drew the other day. Okay, maybe I changed it. And the keyword was build.
Yes, yes, yes,
It was yesterday.
yes.
Build. That's what we're building. We are building a stronger base. Um, and like you said before, that if the base is not strong, it has to collapse.
Yes,
It's
to
just
collect.
not a strong base.
Mhm.
And that's just how world works anyways. Um, so
So how
exciting
beautiful
times. Yeah, exciting times.
it is. So we are 12 minutes past the hour. So unless you have what to say, to,
No.
to thank you, first of all, for coming out and us having another what I
Yes,
powerful
thank you. Thanks everyone.
I do, and I thank everyone that showed up in the chat and shared, and anyone listening to the playback. Um, you know what? I just want you all to know that you are appreciated. And thank you. Like they say, it's a great and exciting time to be alive. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It
Yes,
is.
it is. So, in saying that, I'm going to leave it there. Please go make of this beautiful Friday. Yeah, we're having a beautiful Friday here. The sun is shining, and I'm going to get out there and go for my walk. So, I'm sending everyone peace, love, good vibrations as you make it through your Friday. Make a great one. Bye.
Bye. Thanks everyone. Thanks, Hilda. Bye.
Thank you.